This week's Bushel Up, we're coming to you from Aurora. A couple things going on here today. We're getting ready to Y drop. We're just actually making our first round here. We've got this corn in that V10, V12 stage. Currently, what you see behind me actually only has 40 pounds of nitrogen on with our 2x2. We had some pretty good residual carryover, anywhere that 50 to 100 pounds. So just proof that you can hold on for quite a while. Our tissue levels are good. But obviously we're in a rapid uptake phase of nitrogen here as we're in this rapid vegetative growth. Your big pulls are going to be on nitrogen, potassium right now, and calcium coming into that plant as we build this plant structure. So we're going to get our nitrogen on. We'll be watering that in right away, following David in the Y drop machine. A couple things we're seeing on the insect front. Obviously continue to hear more reports of spider mites. We were talking about them 3 weeks ago as we saw them down in Hastings. We actually treated very early, kind of preemptive strike, knowing that we had a high pressure field. So just be thinking about that, understand what your insecticides are. Our traditional bifenthrins don't have the control, especially as you move west, that they used to have once upon a time. So look at some of the new mite products that are out there and make sure you understand which type of mite. Do you have the banks or do you have the 2-spot? We're also seeing some mite pressure in soybeans. The big one everybody's always worried about around here, Japanese beetles. I've seen a couple out here this morning, but nothing like we're traditionally used to. I'm hoping that's the case, being that our road ditches are dry and some of their overwintering habitat, but we'll see. We're just on the front side of that. Probably our biggest concern watching this field is some rootworm pressure. We do have some rootworm feeding, and we did put insecticide on. We have some traded hybrids out here that have rootworm control. But we're still seeing quite a bit of pressure, and that's typical. You think about a soil insecticide, that's only protecting a small band, not your entire root system, so you'll still see feeding, and that's why it's important to always be evaluating your fields and understand your pressure. Our biggest challenge out here has been the extended emergence of our beetles. We're seeing anywhere from 2nd instar to 4th instar larvae out here, some feeding in the crown. So we'll manage that by making sure we have proper nutrition out here, knowing that we're going to lose a few roots, but hopefully not a lot to where we get into a lodging situation. Certainly don't expect to see that out here, but we are seeing some pretty good pressure. So be watching your fields. Again, soybeans, we're into that full flowering stage, so now's not the time to hold back on water. We need to be watering corn and soybeans alike. This is really a big key stretch for us. So I know that leads us into 4th of July weekend coming up. We wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Understand that it'd be nice if we get a rain so we can take a few days off. If not, keep those pivots going. As some of you make fun of me being a little short, but I got my corn knee high by the 4th of July, so we accomplished that. Life is good. So, but great country we live in, great opportunity. It was great to talk to some of you growers at meetings last week and following up with some of you. Appreciate all of you that follow along, and we'll talk to you here in 2 weeks. We'll take next week off, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm sure we'll see a lot of stuff happening by then.